Hello, everyone. It is I, Roman, and we are back for another episode of When in Roman, or When in Rome. When in Roman, When in Roman. You know, I just love the way that sounds. I'm here with Jason. Say hello.
Hello.
That was very sexy. Say that again.
Hello.
Hello. And we are here for an episode of your favorite podcast. Tonight, we're going to bring you a panel that I have been talking about for a while. Growing up religious. We talked about you growing up religious, and
A little bit,
right?
I wouldn't say I was grew up religious, but I was in a religious family.
Okay.
But they didn't take it too serious.
Right. Dorothy Dandridge did. I got you. I grew up kind of like that. My mom allowed me to know about religion, and we talked about it a little bit. And she had a little bit of she had faith, but we didn't go to church or anything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the stories that these people have, my friends sit down. I was honored for them to sit down and tell me. And we were talking about a bishop trying to hit on you, and then you say no, you're getting excommunicated. We're talking about 10 years of gay conversion therapy. We're also talking about some of the the things they learned from religion, they took from religion, their families and stuff like that. It's really cool. So stay tuned after the news recap for that. In the following weeks, we'll be dropping our interview with Beverly Chills. Burr, it's cold in here. There must be some chills in the atmosphere. You know what I mean? That's going to be good. And then I'm actually, our next panel is going to be on being in the life of an artist. You know what I mean? Just down with some gay artists who I always love talking to people who support their lives through art, be it dance or whatever. So stay tuned for that, everyone. So let's get our mood in.
I love the creatives.
Thank you. I love the creatives too, right? Because they're generally very creative in bed. Ooh, see what I did there? So let's get into it. Everyone get your mood enhancer, please. On the count of 3, we're going to enhance ourselves. 1, 2, 3. Consider yourself enhanced. Let's start. Happening since we last saw each other. So the Met Gala happened.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Met Gala?
I mean, I didn't keep up with it too much, but I saw some pictures. I saw Michael B. Jordan was looking fine as fuck. But didn't catch up with it too much.
I want to say I love fashion, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not the kind of person who watches every fucking fashion runway show, blah, blah. I just like clothes or whatever. And I love when people do really crazy things with clothes. So of course I'm going to love the Met Gala. But this year I have to say I really just stayed away from it. Because it was just I know it's fashion, and fashion is responsible for climate change. Not responsible for only, but you know what I mean? Things in terms of climate change and the how clothes are affecting, you know what I mean, the earth. It's how, everything from the way it affects, popular culture in terms of bad tropes and blah, blah, blah. But I like clothes and I like that kind of shit. So I've always loved the Met Gala, but even I couldn't do it this year. You got Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez, who basically bought their way into it. Mm-hmm. Jeff Bezos wanted to literally give Vogue as a gift to Lauren Sanchez. He wanted to buy it for her,
Vogue?
He wanted to buy her Vogue, but I guess I didn't. And so it's just I don't know if maybe that's why Anna Wintour is, instead of him buying it, she's trying to kiss their ass. You know what I mean? Because it's so ass kissy. Do you know what I mean? Why is she in Vogue and blah 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 blah? And I know that you don't go to Vogue for morals. You know what I mean? But it was just ugh. And I couldn't for myself, even though I love the Met and I love all the fashion, just designs and things like that, the idea of that, I just couldn't this year.
Did you see any of the looks?
No, because I'm trying. I'm
okay,
actively
so you
not.
just was I'm not.
Yeah, because it's you got to put some. It doesn't mean anything that I'm not looking at it, but you have to put some fucking standards somewhere, girl.
Yeah.
You let fucking, you know what I mean, Bill Nye the Science Guy and his wife buy their way into the Met Gala to the point that they decided who was coming. You know what I mean? They don't know anything about fashion. It'd be different if Lauren Sanchez was a fashionista and loved fashion and then became the wife of a billionaire and now she wants to just whatever, or Jeff Bezos had whatever. Neither of them fashion. They're trying to buy their way into whatever, and they're letting them do it because it seems like they're so powerful they were just gonna buy it.
Maybe they're billionaires.
But I know it was just I really liked I love looking at the Met Gala and all that, but not today, honey. Let's move on. Shakira, did you hear Shakira performed? What is Ole 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 in Rio?
No, well, I didn't keep up with that either, but yeah, what'd she do?
She performed in Rio, and the only reason I'm bringing it up is because I want everyone to mark this moment because I am calling it that Beyonce is going to perform in Rio, and everyone's like, "Why?" Because like when you're at that level, there's not too many things that you have from a competitor standpoint.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Madonna did it, Gaga did it, Shakira did it. They love Beyonce in Brazil. She's got an album coming out, and there's just like, you know what I mean. There's just not too many ways to get that high. You know what I mean? To get that check, and you know Beyonce likes to get that like I did this, that mark.
Oh yeah. When Act 3 comes out, I could see her doing another world tour, stopping there. See what numbers did Shakira pull?
Yeah, I mean Shakira got 2 million people. So I mean it's like and for Shakira that's big because everyone keeps like I feel like a lot of at least Western media keep talking about Shakira as if she's like this new thing. Like you know what I mean? Or like this like odd, like, oh wow, Shakira is bitch Shakira. You know what I mean? Like she's been running the Latin world for a very long time. You know what I mean? And so like it's like it isn't just a white woman in the Western world that can get 2 million people. It's also a Latin woman, you know what I mean, who's generally not necessarily that well known in the Western world who can do it. You know what I mean?
And maybe now black.
And you know Beyonce gonna be like a black woman, bitch. You know what I mean?
She
like, come on now.
Too.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Let's see. Oh, and then for those of you who follow golf, do you follow golf?
Not really. I like sports. I like basketball and football, but I don't follow golf too much.
I don't really follow golf, but I do like when people, you know, when like someone does something stupid and you're like, you really shouldn't do that, and then they do it, and then they got egg on their face. So I like that. So basically, just real quick, if you don't follow golf, there's like the PGA Tour, right? It's the big thing of golf. Everyone loves that. But then the Saudi Arabians, you know how they want to sport wash and they want to like, you know, oh my God, we aren't a dictatorship and we don't, you know, blood money,
clean up
you know
their
what I mean?
image.
Clean up their image or whatever. So they decided they want to start a new sport golf league and like pay exorbitant sums of money to people to join, and these golfers joined, and people were like, why would you do that? That's blood money. And they're like, we need it. We need more money. We need so much more money.
The same way the comics went over there.
Yeah, the same way the comics did, right? And so after 3 years, and because of Trump's war in Iran, now the money is, you know, the money faucet's cut off because Saudi Arabia is like rethinking. They're like, yeah, this didn't work out because nobody's really watching it, and so now they're like off, like, is the blood money gone?
It's not working like
now working like now what you got? Now what you got, bitch?
Right.
You know what I mean? Now you would just so that's why I bring it. None of us like golf, but we do like it when, you know, people get.
Yeah, when what goes around comes around.
Thank you. When karma comes right in front of that. Oh my God, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to the ballet this week, everyone. Yes, at the ballet.
That sounds fun.
Thank you. I'm going with. I just want to go and wear a dress and be fierce and like be like everyone's be like so fierce that people are both looking at me and the ballet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm like, stop, guys. See, the show's up there. Okay. Woo!
Do you know what show you're gonna see?
It's like the Springs showcase. So it's basically the San Francisco Ballet School, whatever. It's a spring showcase for the whatever. And also, don't tell anyone, but I love fucking ballet dancers. Like their like dancer bodies are. So
it's a beautiful art.
Yeah, and it's not like with like San Francisco Ballet. Those boys are so whatever. But like the people in the audience and other ballet dancers, like I love fucking dancers. So.
That'll be cool. I've never been. I want to go one day though.
Yeah, I love it. And then I think what's the last thing I want to talk about? Oh my God! So lastly, did you? So I sent you the article about New Orleans. Yeah.
Yes.
New Orleans, baby. New Orleans is gone. It's what did the article say?
Well, it's in 20 years they're relocated. Well, they want to relocate people immediately.
Basically what it all said, guys, is that New Orleans is past the point of no return in terms of climate change and then rising seas, and that like what Jakarta in Indonesia, there's nothing that can be done. Basically, we spent billions of dollars on levees, so we're literally at the point in our country. We are at the point in our country in this world where one of our major cities, we have to start making plans over the next 10 to 20 years to move people out of the city because it's going to be flooded. Like that's existential craziness.
It is. I mean, New Orleans has the lowest sea level of any city in the United States, so it makes sense that would be the first one. But the fact that it is here and they need to move people out is kind of crazy, and it should be alarming because I mean, Miami too. I could see you know something happening there because they deal with a lot of flooding.
Hell yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like I feel like this is like a theme that's gonna be just running through. This is the time that we really the gift that we can give to the future generations is proper planning for what we know is going to happen versus ignoring it like the MAGA people. You know what I mean? Because like being humans, the crazy thing about being humans is we are so brilliant. You know what I mean? And if we stopped and started planning for shit now, we could really, because it's going to crash. We're already crashing in terms of like, it's the ease of which, how much more, but you know what I mean? Getting our environment back, ignoring it. Like literally we are at the point we need to start planning to move people from New Orleans. How are we going to do it?
It's tough because, there's still climate change deniers. People that don't believe that.
In government. Yes. Our entire government right now is run by people who are, you know what I mean, who are literally trying to stop. You know what I mean? Whew, but we'll talk about that later in the news section. And that's it. Let's go to what grinds my motherfucking girdle. You know what grinds my girdles, Jason? What? Basically, what we were just talking about in terms of like climate change, like the fact that like I personally think we are at the part we are at the point of no return in terms of all the things that have happened, right? In terms of like the amount of like CO2 in the air in the environment is affecting us now, and we need to stop putting more CO2 in there. But we also are at the time when we need to start making plans for moving people from cities, like we talked about with New Orleans, like they're doing in Jakarta, like figuring out about places when they run out of water, how they're going to get water. You know what I mean? Like we have literally the smartest minds in the world and the smartest ability to do things, and this is when we should be doing it, when we have these. When we still have water everywhere and blah, 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 and we can forecast right, and we're fucking wasting our time fucking like fighting and having wars and yada, yada, yada. And we have these people who, you know what I mean, in our administration, literally, who are, climate skeptics and blah, blah, blah.
I mean, personally, I think that they know what the problem is, but they're taking money from the oil lobby, and the oil lobby basically has an interest in keeping their business going, and changing things is going to impact them dramatically. So they don't want anything to change, and so they bribe the politicians to, basically tell the constituents that climate change isn't real. Mm-hmm. And that has to change. We got to get money out of politics, for real. Like that's, I think, is like the biggest issue, because if we don't do that, then nothing's going to change, because all the companies are going to keep doing what they're doing.
But really, and I agree exactly what you're doing. Like we have to get money out of politics. Politics, like, you know what I mean? Like that Citizens United.
Yep.
But what really kills me is that like the wave of the future, if you want to be so like, I'm so smart, I'm such a whatever, you know what I mean? I'm a genius, and like, the challenges of the future, and like, fuck going to Mars. Like, why are we worried about that when the wave of the future is trying to figure out how to like survive off less, you know what I mean? Trying to figure out, because that's where, if you can survive off less, if you can figure out how to like, maintain energy, if you can figure out how to like how humans can survive on this planet without destroying it, then you can have more humans, and then you can have more products, and then you can have more whatever, you know what I mean? The wave of the future is trying to figure out how to like keep the species going, not just for right now so we can die. Like if you really want to, you know what I mean? It's just like where are these like, but like it's just like, but the people who are supposed to be having the brightest minds of the world are thinking like, let's go to Mars. Who the fuck gives a fuck about Mars? Exactly. You know what I mean? Like,
and the only reson they want to go to Mars is because we're fucking this planet up.
And I'm not saying like, like the going to space is we got a lot of things about going to space, but I'm just talking about in general, like the way, like we should be as an entire race recognizing the concept of climate change, and the future should be like trying who can the best way to like use resources more, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Save water, yada yada. Because it makes no sense not to, because then, you know what I mean, from a longevity standpoint, then we all benefit. Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy to me.
There are some countries that are doing that, but the problem is that we all got to get on the same page.
Yeah, and
it just doesn't happen.
But because but the problem is a lot of the world and countries around the world of power are built on oil. You know what I mean? And so it would fundamentally change everything about the world.
And we could have so many renewable energy sources, whether it's solar or wind or whatever, but they just don't invest in that because, again, it's a corporatocracy, and the oil lobby is like got this huge amount of money that they use to lobby these politicians to keep putting forth legislation or blocking it that keeps their shareholders.
But they're also fucking lazy. You have all this fucking money, but you could be using that money to be on the next, to like be on the next generation of like trying to like whatever, like you know what I mean, like trying to use less oil, or you could, you know what I mean, like they're just lazy. They want to keep the power dynamic that they have instead of like being like true intellectuals and true. If you're so like titillated by the future and what we can do with it, you know what I mean. Like the future is a conservation. You know what I mean. Like that is what is going to like be the cool shit. You know what I mean. Like every fucking sci-fi motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? They're like saving water and blah blah blah. Like what sci-fi have you ever seen? Are they like running on diesel? You know what I mean, girl? Like we ain't gonna get to Star Wars. You know what I mean? Running on diesel, honey.
Yeah,
girl.
It absolutely needs to change. And it has to change before, like you said, it gets dire.
Thank you. I want to be a Skywalker. Thank you. Okay, and I'm not going to be a Skywalker. You know what I mean? On diesel, on like a hybrid vehicle. Do you know what I mean? Like my source of power needs to be fusion or something.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's go to party reviews. And we're back with party reviews. Did you go out this weekend?
I did. I went to Audio on Saturday for Coco and Breezy.
Okay.
It's the first time I saw them. 2 black women. It was a lovely show.
Mm-hmm.
Had fun. Had fun with my friends, and yeah, it was a good time.
When you first told me the name, I was like, you know what? I like the name, girl. I mean, these two, like one thing I love, one thing I don't. You know what I mean? Something I want in my chocolate, in my coffee, and something I try to avoid with a Coke. You know what I mean? Cocoa and Breezy. So that's cool. So it was good.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did I do? I went to Electrolux at Midway. It was okay. It was actually good. Let me just say that. It was good. I liked the music. Music was good. They also had a dark room. Like, but I had never heard of a dark room at the Midway. I said, you know what?
I didn't know Electrolux
I didn't
was
even know.
doing that.
Right. I didn't even go to. I didn't even know where it was. I didn't even see it. But I heard about it, and I was like, okay. So they had a dark room at the Midway. Anyway, but the music was good. But I just felt like it was a lot of like, I don't know if they were younger or people who just don't party a lot, but like a lot of bumping into you, a lot of like walking through a group of people dancing. Like, girl, if you see people dancing, walk around them. Do you know what I mean? Like, and if you're gonna walk through them, excuse me, sorry, keep going, but you're gonna stop and stand around and look around. It was just like you barely could get a chance to actually groove and dance. So that was really annoying, especially when the music was really good. So that was. Then I went to Harder at Club 6, Fierce.
Okay.
I like Harder. The music was good. The boys were hot. It was good. I went to Safada, the cafe.
How was that?
Hot boys. Actually, some beautiful girls. The girls in there were stunning. Oh my God. I mean, all that matters. But I was like, okay, bitch. I don't like labias, but you know, yours is blooming. And the music is really fun too. All right, so let's see what's coming up this week on. What's coming up at parties. We have on 5/8 at the Stud, Afro Habibi. You had me at foreskin and dark. Never mind, dark foreskin. That's all I need to say. Darker the berry, the sweeter the what? Juice. I don't know. I don't know any Middle Eastern word for juice, but I'll figure it out. Make that joke better. So we on 5/15 at Powerhouse. We have another trade party. After the last one, I'm going to go to this one. Are you going?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know that they were having it this week, but yeah, I stopped by.
All right. You're like, oh, you mean they didn't book me? That's fine. I'll be booked for the next one, right? Let me check my email. Maybe I have a filter on. Okay. On 5/6 of the Eagle, there's Young Hearts. Actually, haven't mentioned this party in a while, but I love it. So I'll see you guys there. I am hosting on Thursdays at Bo. It's called like Locker Room Thursdays or whatever. So I pick one of the Thursdays. The music is fierce. I like going to Bo on Thursdays again. Place to be. So see you guys there. As you know, hostess with the mostest. You know what I mean? I can show you some things in the bathroom if you like.
And next Tuesday, 5/12, I'll be there.
Okay. On 5/12, he'll be stripped. Oh, sorry. On 5/12, you'll be there for strips.
Yes.
Sorry, that was
strip.
Come on, double entendre. At 5:23 at Powerhouse, Lickett's having another party.
Yes.
And then last but not least, on 5/23, I'm hosting again. God, I'm hosting again. Oh God, booked, busy, and blessed. So 5/23, I'm hosting Maximus at Bo. Fierce circuit music with Will Capital. Sounds like someone who I will have fucked, or want to fuck, or will have fucked me.
Okay.
Let's just call it. This is putting up on the mood board. Okay. Capital. 5:23. Let's go to break.
And just one more.
Oh, sorry.
5:30. I'm going to be doing a new party, not a new party, but a party called Dirty Talk with my friend Frankie. So that's going to be at Driftwood.
Okay, so 5 when?
5:30 Saturday.
5:30 on Saturday at Driftwood. You're going to be talking dirty to your friend Frankie.
Yes.
I'm
We're
here for it.
Talking dirty to y'all.
Let's go to break. We'll be back to talk about world news. And we're back from break. All right, guys, I'm just going to say, like, just up front, sorry for, like, the 2 articles in the world news and American news, but there was a lot of shit going on this week, okay? And I'm a little stuffed up because I hadn't been able to talk to you guys for 3 weeks, so I just need to talk. I need to espouse. I need to get this out. Anyway, let's get to it. Most Swiss back initiative to cap population at 10 million, according to a poll. Article synopsis is a slim majority of Swiss approve a new measure that put forward by a right-wing Swiss political party to limit the amount of permanent residents of Switzerland to 10 million people, with the population right now being about 9.7 million, with 27% of them being foreign nationals. Support seems to be growing for this new measure. Dissenters of the measure say that it could hurt them with the European Union because they have rules on, how many people they can, how many people you can have in the country, and it would limit their ability to take on people for gaps in the population. What do you think?
I mean, the first thing I thought of was I wish the Swiss People's Party just said what they mean. They just want to get rid of people. And it's kind of like here, where during the 2024 election, the whole narrative that people had for voting for Trump was we want egg prices down and da-da-da. But it's like they really just wanted the brown people out. And I think that actually this is what it really is. I think that they want black and brown people in the country, but they want them as the service class. Like they want them to pick the produce. They want them to clean their homes. They want those things, but they don't want to have anybody but white people be their peer.
Right.
And I mean, it's pretty transparent to me, but they're socially aware enough to know that they can't just say what they want. Like, oh, we don't want the black and brown people here, but that's kind of what I read into it.
Yeah, I mean, just the screams keep our country white or homogenous, which is really fucking annoying because, like, you owe your fucking lives and your country and all this shit from the lower south, you know what I mean, that you either colonized or you, affected with climate change. You know what I mean? You act like the reason you have all that you have, Europe, you know what I mean, is because you plundered the lower, or, like, just like us, you built your industrial age and all that money you made and all that shit you extracted and then put all this oil and the CO2 in the environment, and now we're trying to tell the countries in the southern hemisphere that are trying to have their own industrial revolution that they got to do it cleanly when we did it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're still not done. We create more trash than they do, and we send it to them. We create all this bullshit and send it to them, and then we are the reason they want to move. They like their country and they wish they could stay, but guess what? It's dry now. It doesn't have water. There's too much fighting. There's not enough, whatever. Now we've cut off fucking aid, healthcare wise. Right. So the motherfuckers, you know what I mean? And then we want to vote. Sorry, we don't want anybody. Bitch, you don't have a choice.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Also, if you look around, all the first world countries are like nobody's having enough kids. So you need immigration. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because what happens when you get education, you realize you don't need to have 45 kids, to get through and blah, 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 blah.
Right. A lot of these countries have negative birth rates.
Right.
Like the United States, Germany, like
all of them. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like most of the countries that are having kids are in the South. You know what I mean? And India and shit.
I mean, the younger people don't have a reason to have kids. One, they can't afford them. Two, who wants to bring a kid into this world?
Right. So I just it's I want to keep it because we want to keep Swiss. Bitch, please, don't act like the only reason you had what you had is because you need to, you know what I mean? You've been taken from people and taken from cultures and taken from whatever. So now it's time to pay what you owe, bitch. And that's opening up your borders and maybe investing. Maybe people wouldn't come down there if you guys kept aid up. You know what I mean? The countries now we're cutting aid. You know what I mean? Right. And then they're affected by climate change that we caused. And now we're gonna say we don't want you, girl, bitch, boo.
Yeah, I mean, and foreigners bring a lot to the table. I mean, it's like, first of all, it adds to the culture, and people that have this idea that bringing people from other countries into a whiter country is going to be problematic. They just can't see the value.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just, they're just very short-sighted.
That's one thing we can say about America is that we have shown that, you know what I mean, you are great if you bring in from people. Like one thing we do is we educate the world. You know what I mean? You can send people here and you educate them and then we can go back to your country and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, so like to talk to then say we don't need education or we don't need immigration because your resources are running out. The reasons are running out because the model that you have been running on in terms of colonialism, slavery, whatever we want to call capitalism, all that shit is breaking. And instead of recognizing that and trying to share, you know what I mean? Like, girl, bitch, that little, we want to close off our country. Shut the fuck up, Switzerland.
And the people that support this, they say it's for the sovereignty of the country, but, look at Brexit.
Thank you.
That still is affecting people that live in the UK.
Yep. Let's go to the second topic. And we are back with our second world news topic. And I really just want to say out like at the front why I wanted to include this one is because I feel like this is going to dovetail really well with what we talk about American news and kind of like this is an example of where we don't want to go. So anyway, what Modi's big win in Indian state elections could mean for democracy. The article is basically saying Modi's party won, and Modi is the prime minister of India. So Modi's party won in the state of West Bengal, which is a significant victory for his party. West Bengal is an area that is mostly Muslim and has a history of pushing back at the government when it doesn't like or wants more from said government. So Modi's party winning there could be seen as a big sign of approval for his administration in a place that he typically hasn't been, gotten that much. The ECI, which is the autonomous constitutional body that controls elections in the state of West Bengal, has been accused by watchdog groups, various of them since 2014, of things like vote theft, fraud, manipulation, and more recently, a controversial revision of the voter rolls that eliminated 2.7 million most of them Muslims of voters before the election. There's 100 million people in the state of West Bengal. People are saying that is a big reason why Modi won.
Yeah, 9 million people off the voter rolls is huge. I think, I don't know exactly what the percentage was, but...
So it's 2.7 million people that were taken off,
yeah.
And there's 100 million people, so it's literally 2.7%.
Yeah. Obviously, they call themselves Democratic. I don't know if what they're doing now...
Bitch, so do we.
Yeah,
but anyway,
we do call ourselves Democratic.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, this story, it's first of all, Indian politics it's just a whole different animal. Mm-hmm. But what I took away from it was they're basically, it sounds like they're cheating. Mm-hmm. And, that's what people do to maintain power. And it's, I don't know. I don't like unethical things and people that lack integrity. So if that's what they're doing, I'm not with it.
Yeah, so essentially, what you said, this is pretty much unethical. And the reason, from a very high level, I wanted to include it is because I feel like it's, like I said, it's going to dovetail into what we talk about as American news with like the Supreme Court. But there's a lot of times you see like articles, and we're talking about like in red states when they're trying to like take voters off the rolls and they're trying to pass these rules. Like you have to have an ID, or you have to be show that you live in this this zip code, or blah blah blah. Poll taxes, right? The reason that they want to take people off the voter rolls is because this is what happens when the minorities, base starts to die out, right? So the minority is the minority, right? The Republicans' base is generally gray and older, and they're dying, and they're not getting not as many new young voters, right? So what they're trying to do is they're trying to like purge the rolls so they can keep their percentage, because most old white people vote. Right. And so generally that's what kept them in power, because more old white people vote than young people of color or whatever, because because they either didn't know how, yada, yada, yada. And so now that because there's always been more white people than black people or other people in this country, now that's changing. Right. Yeah. So basically what I'm just trying to say, the reason this is example of, 2.7 million people, that's 3 million people were denied the right to vote in this state. Imagine that, you know what I mean? And because of what happens when you get in control of the elections, right? You start to like pass rules that erase people that vote, or you just say that people are not eligible for really stupid reasons like the Republicans are doing. This is the extreme example of that. This is the reason why they want to do that, because this is how, they can then say that they won a clean election when they really didn't.
Right. And these are kind of things that lead to revolutions ultimately, because people see it. I mean, I don't know like what's going on in their media or how they're reporting on this, but people have a sense that something's not right. Mm-hmm. And, India has a lot of problems. And so if these people that are in power don't work on fixing them, I could see that being another problem.
Yeah, and it's also the nature of corruption to continue to corrupt and to continue to get worse and worse and worse. So, because I follow some Indian politics, and but but I don't know if I've seen something quite at this level in terms of like just getting rid of 3 million fucking people on the voter roll. So I feel like this is kind of like just like we see with Trump, it will just keep trying to push, right? Keep trying to push. Modi will keep trying to push, right? So anyway, with that, let's go to American news. And we're here with American news. Again, 2 topics, but like a lot is going on. So let's cover it. First topic, Operation Epic Fury is over. Did you know that Operation Epic Fury is over? We're done, guys. We are done. We are no longer at war with Iran. Woo! We did it.
It's been over. It's been over like 5 times.
We did it, guys. Oh, woo! Didn't get the uranium. Didn't like, the people aren't free. The IRGCC is still in power. Oh God, is there anything? Oh, Strait of Hormuz is still closed.
Yes,
Strait of Hormuz is still closed. Oh God, but we did it. We won.
Yeah.
So yeah, the article synopsis: Trump has claimed that operation. You know what? That was the article. But what's really funny? I listened to a bunch of podcasts, and like one of them was like Pod Save the World, Pod Save America, and they were literally joking on there. They were like, people were like, yeah, he's just gonna like claim that he did it and leave the strait and be like, we did everything we were supposed to do, and you did nothing. You actually, you know what I mean? If anything, you literally it made it worse. They like literally and that's exactly what Trump did, because he's literally in a place where he created, and he literally has fucked every single way that he can. He's fucked his allies. He's fucked off. He has no one around him that's intelligent to give him good ideas, whatever. So he literally just said, oh, guys, we're done. And then also they're trying to get away from fucking the 90 days of being at war. You know what I mean? So then they have to go to Congress. Like it.
Yeah, there's a resolution that Congress, but I mean, he didn't even get a congressional approval for the war. So you think he gives a damn about a resolution?
He just says, but he doesn't want to have to go to Congress. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if he can say that, because then he would have to go to Congress. But it's all of it. It's literally, I don't even know has anyone ever been owned so much. Do you know what I mean? Like literally, I've never seen someone get owned, get like you know what I mean?
And
like
Donald Trump, right? The gaslighting is crazy.
And I have a friend who's a Trump supporter, and I made a joke about Trump. He's like, yeah, the overlord. He's the one who'll save the world. And I was like, yeah, you got to go there, because you have to, go for, because there's no other. You have to live in that fantasy world.
Yeah.
Because literally, I've never seen someone get owned so much in my life.
I mean, some people are waking up because of the prices of things.
Yeah.
Now it's like, like he said he was going to lower everything, and now I'm paying like $7. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was at the Castro today, and the gas prices are like $7 a gallon. Like that's fucking crazy. You can't gaslight people about what they're paying for things, and you can't tell people that you won when you clearly have not.
But like, I just but you know what's funny though is like, this is what all of them do. You know what I mean? This is what all of the dictators do. You know what I mean? That's Putin when he got on stage and he was like, oh my God, yeah, because we're gonna invade Ukraine because of the Nazis. What, bitch?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Xi Jinping, you know what I mean? We're gonna take Taiwan because that's what I was reading this thing with looking at this podcast, and they were showing this interview with a Chinese official, and they were like, yeah, so like the people of Taiwan are free, and the people of Taiwan don't want to be a part of China. He goes, well, that's not really up to them. What? It's not up to just them. What? The freedom of them is not. There's people on this side of the island that have a say. Why? Yeah. And so it's like all of them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like Donald Trump is just the most visible and the stupidest and the dumbest. But I mean, like, look at Putin. Putin is literally destroying Russia right now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Xi Jinping is. I mean, everyone thinks China is great, but Xi Jinping is literally like fucking up China, because once you go totalitarian, girl, you damn near you go stupid.
Yeah, because you do whatever you want.
Because it all becomes just literally about the totalitarian thing, and so that's the one. At the end of the day, that's like the one good thing about that, is because of the ineptitude, it generally allows at some point, somewhere, decades down the line, for you to like get out of it because it's so stupid. But like, My God. Let's go on to the next topic. And we're here for our second American news topic. Supreme Court issues new emergency voting rights ruling boosting the GOP. So the Supreme Court allowed a ruling limiting the scope of the Voting Rights Act. A group of black voters sued Louisiana, saying that they had created their voting maps within the state. Was the way that they had created the voting maps in the state was illegal because it was diluting black votes by carving up the maps to put different sections, to put the black sections into different districts. Thus diluting their power. Doing this to reduce Democratic seats in the Senate. Supreme Court called that, basically said that nullifying, said that they were okay, that you could basically not sue for that anymore, which is kind of nullifying one of the parts, a key part of the Voting Rights Act, which said you could do that, right? You know what I mean? So you could sue for that, so that you could basically say that the Voting Rights Act is saying you can sue if you're being, you're diluted, right? Your power is being diluted through the redistricting, and for this reason, and the Supreme Court now said you can't sue for that anymore.
Yeah.
What do you think?
The first thing I thought about when I heard this ruling was, okay, the blue states can do it. And I want California, I want New York, I want Illinois to like do the same shit. Cause like we're never gonna win. This is one thing I have a problem with the Democrats is they play softball and the Republicans don't give a damn. Like they're gonna cheat, they're gonna lie, they're gonna manipulate so that they can maintain power, whatever little power they got. It's not little, but whatever power they do have, they're going to maintain the white patriarchy to whatever degree they gotta go to. And until the Democrats start to do the same thing, I just don't like what's gonna happen.
I mean, I kind of disagree in the sense that like, because whether you're white or black, doing this to you, if this is done to you, it is taking away your representation. Do you know what I mean? And so I know that we had to do it in this last round because they were trying to do it for what the other states and California had to do it. But when we did it, that's essentially what we did. You know what I mean? We diluted the Republican states and we took away their right and their representation. Mm-hmm. So we did to them. We became the colonizers to them, right? Granted, it's a part of a larger conversation, yada, yada, yada. But like the problem with me is we can't keep doing bad. Like the problem really is the Supreme Court. You know what I mean? Like that, like yes, I'm not saying that I know the answer to how we combat, but the problem can't be just continuing to disenfranchise people. We can't disenfranchise people as an answer to disenfranchisement.
I understand that side of it, but when somebody's not playing fair, you can't win.
Yeah, and I'm saying I don't want to necessarily debate like that because I actually don't honestly know what the answer is. You know what I mean? But I understand completely your frustration in people not playing the same game, and that's why I think we just should take it back to just the ruling, and that's, you know what I mean. The ruling is really bad for that reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like. This is why we talk about India, right? Because this is when I was talking about this, whatever. Because this is what happens. India is what happens when these kind of rules keep getting looser and looser and looser. And we, you know what I mean. That's why when people are saying the Voting Rights Act is really important, is because we don't want to happen what happened in India, where all of a sudden the government decides that 3 million people can't be on the voter rolls.
Yeah, I mean the problem too is that you have 9 people that are unelected making a decision about this. And it affects everybody.
Unelected, and they don't have any fucking term limits.
Right. They have lifetime appointments.
Right.
So, yeah, it's fucked up. I mean, if the Democrats do win the presidency in 2028, I mean, one solution could be to pack the court, just add more justices. And, but again, it's kind of like, I hate this dirty politics thing because it's like, the system, I mean, with its faults and all, I mean, it is a decent system in itself, but it's like when you have people that don't want to play by the rules, it just fucks it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the struggle is always going to be against people who want to take power for power's sake. And that's just because the nature of people is to do that. You know what I mean? And so you always have to keep fighting against corruption. You know what I mean? Because there's in a utopian society, nobody would want to be corrupt. No one would want to be corruptible, and no one blah blah blah. But then in that society, though, like, you know, you don't have any emotions. You know, you don't have greed. You don't have whatever. You know, blah blah blah. You don't have free choice. So I mean, but I get it. So I'm saying I definitely see your frustration, but I'm like this. I just want to tie some things. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is why these kind of rulings are important. When people say the Voting Rights Act and why are we fighting for it, blah, blah, blah. Think of is India, right? And what's going on with India, because 3 million, like, can you imagine if we get mad in this country if they try to nullify 5 votes? Can you imagine just nullifying 3 million votes, and that would be on the same headline as the Met Gala?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what we don't want in this country.
Yeah.
And with that, let's go to break, and then we'll come back with local news. And we're back with local news. SF Tech billionaire. This, you know what I mean? When the article starts out, SF Tech billionaire, you know it's going to be fun, right? My God, it's going to be great for the environment and the earth.
Yes.
Okay, so SF Tech billionaire pushes to restore the Dungeness crab season for Thanksgiving. So basically, California has not had a Dungeness crab season for the past 3 years. And when I tell you guys that I'm talking about Dungeness crab, know that I love Dungeness crab. Woo! I used to move around a lot with Amazon, and every city had a red lobster, and that red lobster with that Dungeness crab, and this fucking woo! Anyway, so I'm just saying that I have a vested interest in this story. So California has not had a Dungeness crab season for the past 3 years because the government body that regulates fishing them has not allowed it because there has been too small of a population of crabs to allow fishing. So it's this billionaire who's been pushing the government to open up fishing because he cares, quote unquote, about the lives of the fishermen who rely on Dungeness crabs, and wants the government to think more about the fishermen and open up fishing during the later months for a bit. Environmentalists say that doing that has, historically led to a lot of overfishing of the crabs, and what crabs they do want to have in the water they want to save for the whales. What do you think?
Yeah, first of all, I was wondering, why does he care about this?
Thank you.
What is his interest, his motivation?
Right.
On the other side, I do see the fisherman's perspective, because if you have I think the before the delay, the season was about 6 to 8 months, and now it's 4. So that does cut into their ability to make money, but we also need to think about the whales too.
And the fucking crabs.
Yes.
I get it, and I'm not, this is not me saying, I get the fishermen and that you could have been a fisherman for, generations or whatever, but we are fundamentally overfishing the ocean. And the reason that the government stopped letting them do fish the crabs is because 3 or 4 years ago, the sea level temperature became so high that all of a sudden the Dungeness crab population disappeared.
Yeah.
And they couldn't figure out why, right? And then they shut it down, and then they figured out it was because of the sea level, and the sea levels keeps getting hotter, right? So we did this,
and
you know what I mean?
That happens with other marine life too.
Right.
It's they're moving around because, again, kind of like us on land, certain areas are going to become uninhabitable.
Right. So and literally, so they literally cannot live here anymore, and nearly as many. And if after 3 years they haven't opened it, and because the seas have gone, it's time to move on.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And so if this fucking billionaire, first of all, this billionaire don't give a fuck. What fucking billionaire cares about the little guy? Girl.
And for Thanksgiving,
right?
For Thanksgiving,
this billionaire, you are a billionaire, and you care about the little guy for Dungeness crabs for thanks. Shut the fuck up. Girl, if you don't take you and your receding hairline that you've gotten something for, shut up, just shut up. It's just stupid. He likes Dungeness crab like I do, and he wants Dungeness crab. Yeah. But when you look in the article, I don't see a single plan from him on how to increase the population, how to get more Dungeness crabs. It's just we need to open it up, and we love us and we love the whales. No, you want us to choose humans over whales.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? The problem is whales are one of the most endangered dangerous species in the world. You know what I mean? And crabs, and as basically what I'm saying, like 90% of the crab population disappeared like 3 or 4 years ago because of the warming seas, and it hasn't come back. If it hasn't come back after 3 years, girl, you know what the best thing this billionaire could do? Pay for these people to transition to a new industry.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. It's like as climate change affects us more,
It's going to affect certain industries.
People are going to have to adapt. It is just what it is. It's like AI, like it's going to take jobs. Like,
And right.
We just have to figure out something else.
I mean, it's, and with the AI, but I agree with yes, we have to figure something else out. Yes, you're right with AI. And with climate change, and also, but like fundamentally, we're overfishing the ocean. And yes, I understand that there are going to be, and I'm not saying that we need to stop the small communities that rely, but we need to stop all the corporations for overfishing. Do you know what I mean? And then we can go to these, to these guys. But there are going to be species of things that we literally just can't fish anymore, like dung and its crab. And I get that there are the small guys or whatever, but we did this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like we need to start planning. If this billionaire really gave a fucking shit, you know what I mean? He will be paying to transition these motherfuckers, because with a little bit of money, he could be paying for every single one of them to get new types of, get new jobs, new training. You know what I mean? Like there's all kinds of things.
And the article did mention that there are other ways to fish or, get these crabs, but it's going to affect the smaller fishermen that don't have larger boats and can't really afford it. So.
Right. And if there's no fucking crabs to fish, then it doesn't matter how fucking cool the fishing method is. We don't have the crabs because guess what? The waters are too warm. Guess why? Because of climate change. Guess why? Because of billionaires.
Yeah.
So here we fucking are. And I just feel like we need to start having these hard conversations. Oh my God, the fishermen, like, da, da, da. And this is not the fishermen's fault. It's our fault. But we still, like, girl, coal miners, fucking fishermen, cab drivers. You know what I mean? Like, there are some hard conversations we need to have. Those conversations shouldn't be hard. We should be paying these people and training these people and blah, 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 blah. But we also need to be saying, like, the way of life that you had, we fucked it up. Yeah. And it can't exist anymore.
I mean, ultimately, I think we're going to have some kind of UBI, some universal basic
income.
Hell
yeah.
Because it's like people are going to be out of work.
Right.
And then what's going to happen then?
Right. Let's go to pop culture news. And we're back for pop culture news. Oh God, I'm trying to, you try to flip between screens, and you one time you do it and you feel like Zorro, ha. And the next time you do it, you feel like, you know what I mean, like, oh my God, what's wrong with my hands? I have carpal tunnel. Like, girl, I'm on a podcast. Thank you. Let's get it together. All right. So Six Flags forced the guests to climb down from the Superman roller coaster after the ride stalls at the highest fucking point. I don't even need an article synopsis, bitch. It says it motherfucking all. That is my nightmare.
It's terrifying.
Oh my God. It's Superman, the point, like I can just imagine, like so I have like a slight fear of heights. Like I can be high, but I don't like being like close to the edge or like really sharp edges or whatever.
Or if I look down off an edge and it's like I can see like it's a far drop, I'm like, okay,
like if there's like a flat surface, like a flat thing between me and there, like a long ledge or something like that, then I'm cool. But like those sheer drops and cliffs or whatever, I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a stiff wind when I'm like 6'2" and 215 pounds. Like what, bitch? That's a stiff wind that's gonna drop you over that. You know what I mean? Bitch have to be Twister, a tornado, bitch, right? But yeah, like that is can you guys imagine just being at the, like, what is it, 700 feet up? Oh my God.
It was 220.
So yeah, this roller coaster went all the way up and then it just stops. And then no one knows what to do. Well, and they did get the people down. But can you imagine just being at the very top of a roller coaster? It just stops. And then you're just sitting there.
Sheer terror.
Probably had to be there for like probably an hour. Yeah. Before they realized. And they had to walk up and get you. They have to unlock you. You have to walk down the steps.
Ooh. The craziest part of this story to me?
What?
It was that the park invited them back to go on. Like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? I ain't going back on that shit.
This Six Flags, no. Right. I better the next Six Flags that I do go to, though, I better be like, Jesus Christ, I better be like Aretha Franklin at a church, bitch. You know what I mean? You better treat me like a goddess. Right. I'm going to go to the WAP. This one's cool. Massachusetts is cool. I'm going to hit the LA one, though.
I mean, I wondered, could you sue them for mental anguish?
It's America. You could no because when you even go in and you sign, you know what I mean. They had I think you go in under expectation, and when you buy a ticket, it says in there that blah 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 blah. I think if you got hurt, but since they got out safely, I mean that might be hard.
I was like, come back,
come back. You could come back, bitch. Where? To come back to get myself together.
Right.
The
I'm
fuck?
like, y'all, like, this is insane.
Jesus. All right, let's move on to the protest section. And we're back with the protest section. So there's actually a good amount of protests in SF this week, Jason. The SEIU/USWW, the union's workers and supporters blocked the international terminal departure area, leading to citations for several protesters, including supervisors Raphael Mandelman and Connie Chan. That's really funny in this line, like, unless I'm going somewhere like, bitch, can you protest on somebody else's money, girl? Okay, I'm protesting in America tomorrow, but right now I'm in Lufthansa and I'm trying to get the PV.
It's supposed to inconvenience you to bring awareness.
I guess you know what? Go ahead, girl. Let me just put on my. You right? Protest. We can wait. You know what I mean? Let me just put. I'll just watch all of this Harry Potter movie. And there's also another protest. Thousands gathered at the Embarcadero Plaza and marched to City Hall. That's a walk to advocate for workers' rights, to oppose billionaires' influence, right, and support immigrant rights. There was immigration protests. That's it. So we support all the protests going on in San Francisco, baby.
I do.
Huh?
I do.
Hello. And then from a positive news standpoint, the world hit a major energy milestone. For the first time, renewables grew fast enough to meet all new electricity demand globally, and even nudged fossil fuel power into reverse. The era of and analysts say that we've entered the era of clean growth. Doug girl, like, you know what I mean? Like, with about fucking time grew, despite a lot of other issues. It also says here that China and India, generally the bigger contributors to the rise of fossil fuels, had the biggest falls. Which, of course, have you been to China and India? We were just talking about how bad the weather is there.
The air quality gotta be terrible.
My God, you know what I mean? Like, you just like, it's like going outside, just like smoking a cigarette. Do you know? But let's celebrate that, despite the Trump and all these other motherfuckers, that renewables are still soaring, baby. And with that is our show, ladies and gentle fucks. Stay tuned after the news recap for the panel on growing up religious. I don't believe in God, but Jesus did make me see God last night. Okay. As always, thank you, Jason, for joining us.
You're welcome.
You're a little sacrilegious for that ass. Yeah, thank you for always coming. And as always, remember to follow me so you know when I post new shows. Remember that I am When in Rome in your podcast form, When in Roman in YouTube form. It's like When in Rome in the streets and When in Roman in the sheets. Okay. I did this. I was telling somebody, I did this thing on Instagram, and I was talking about myself. And I was like, I'm like Grace Jones in the sheets and Steve Urkel in the sheets.
Did you want to talk about the DMV?
Oh my God, thank you for reminding me. So I went to the DMV. For the DMV, and it had to be a stereotype because there's always these attitudinal black people, whatever. So I go to the DMV has this thing where you have a virtual line. So again, you could wait, you could put yourself in line virtual, and then just like you wait at home and then you go. And it says like start to go to the fucking DV when you're at 10th place in line or whatever. So I was like 10th place in line. So I was like, let's go. I call my Uber. And I go, and then I literally get called while I'm in the Uber, and I'm like a minute away. So the Uber rushes there. I run up to the window and I'm like, oh, this is Gino G, da-da-da-da. And she had not called another number. And she looks at me up and down. She goes, oh, okay, well, since you were late, I started doing something else. Just wait there and I'll get to you. So I wait there. She's a black woman. Ooh. And so I wait there. And then after 30 minutes, I was just like, so let me just put myself back in queue just in case. Yeah. Another 45 minutes later, the bitch has gone off. She's walking around. I was mean mugging that fucking bitch. People thought I probably looked like a crazy unhoused person. I was talking to myself the whole time, like, this bitch has fucking lost her motherfucking mind. Bitch, you had me sitting here when you could have had me. I was rehearsing my lines. I was like, oh, Jesus, right? And so then, like, finally, I, like, literally didn't even get to see her. I went back in the queue, and it took me another hour, and I got seen. And finally, when I done, I went up there. I said, why would you have me sit there? Do you know what I mean? Why would you have me sit there, and then you wasn't going to get to me? You know what? I wish that your customer service was loud as your outfit, and I walked out. Okay? You ain't going to play me at the DMV, no. Bethany, or whatever you're fucking at. Ooh, I was so fucking mad.
And you was a minute away.
Woo! Lord, I was mad. Ooh, and with that, keep it sassy, San Francisco. Ciao, ciao. Hello. Yeah, I love how I tried to do it like the meta version. I tried to like
What do
do
you
a
mean?
sound check with no headphones. Like I was literally looking at the wavy lines, like, oh my god, yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
working,
okay,
and I was
this
like, oh shit, you know what? I would need would go great with the soundtrack. Headphones.
headphone they help.
Jason, are you there?
I am here.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up?
What's up?
Testing.
Hello. Jason, are you there?
Yeah. What's up, y'all?
Yeah, you sound really good.
Okay, good.
Okay, the fuck? Why do I sound like that? Hello? Okay, there I am. I was like, the fuck? You sound better than me. I'm on shit. Hello, everyone. It is I, Roman, and we are back with another panel. This one about God. Yeah, I had a joke. Fuck, I just maybe should make jokes about God, right? That's what God was like. That's why you're. He was like, thought gone, right? God send me men. So this panel is actually going to be going growing up super religious, right? I know that there's tons of friends. Plus, it's kind of like a stereotype, kind of like in films and scenes, right? To grow up super religious or whatever. So I wanted to thank my two friends, both Cody and Mateus, for being here.
Hi.
You'll introduce yourselves later, but thank you for sharing what I know is going to be both an incredibly personal and religious experience, right? And we appreciate that. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, so yes, this panel is on growing up religious. This is When in Rome, and let's get into it. All right, guys, so let's start with your name, where you grew up, and the religion you grew up under.
So my name is Matheus, from Brazil, born and raised. I moved to here 8 years ago, and I was growing up in a Mormon church.
The Mormon church.
Yes.
I didn't
That one.
know they had Mormons in Brazil, too. Like, I mean,
I love
maybe.
people say that actually.
Yeah, I mean that's probably because we're like that's very racist of us, America first, right? Like I'm sorry, not that America first. Whoa, yeah. I mean, guess it is. So we're definitely gonna get back to that. Okay, to the Brazilian Mormon, honey. Okay, how much foreskin do you? Never mind. And then we have Cody.
Hi, I'm Cody. I grew up in Akron, Ohio, and I grew up evangelical, which, if you're not familiar, is like very charismatic, tends to be conservative, a lot of like movement of the Holy Spirit, raising your hands.
Come on, charismatic conservative. I'm talking about the lineup on Fox News. Okay, cool. So thank you for we have an evangelical, we have a Mormon. These are some deep religions, y'all. Deep. So okay, let's give my first question. Do you actually still believe in any teachings of your church? Who wants to take that one?
Not really.
No, you don't.
Not really.
Okay. Why?
I think because the way they taught us that everything was true, we are the only true church. Because you hear you guys going to the heaven, all the churches they're wrong. And then once I left the church, I saw how wrong they were, and then made me like question myself, like my whole life was a kind of lie, or was so just people trying manipulate me or trying to convince me that was a true. So yeah, so today I'm grateful for things that I did that, but I don't believe in everything that they teach.
What are some things you're grateful for?
I think it was since I was raised in the church, my family they are 4 generations in the church. More like being a good guy, don't lie. This kind of little principles that is good for life,
Right,
you know,
right,
like and
That's
I
good.
I keep that with me.
Yeah,
you know?
taking the good parts, right?
Yeah.
Right, and leaving some of the bad,
Sometimes I
right?
leave it at, yeah.
Like the clothes. Even in Brazil, it might be more colorful, but I'm sure it was still dowdy, right? I mean, Mormons. Okay, Cody.
I would say similar. I think most of it I don't. However, like I still cling to like some of the teachings of Jesus about like being a good person, how you treat people, like more of on an ethics type of way. But like, yeah, that's
pretty much it. Yeah, that was a hard no on that question, guys. Has it ever been more harder? So okay, next question. What was it like as a child in your church, Cody?
I grew up in a, how do I even describe this growing up in my church? I grew up in like kind of a bigger, medium-sized church.
So like one of those like big churches, like
Yeah, multiple services. I went to church on like Sunday morning, Wednesday night, children's church, vacation Bible school,
book busy and
church
blessed.
camp.
Book busy and blessed.
Yeah, church camp, like, and then, yeah, like
How many people? How many people in your church? I'm sorry.
I don't remember, to be honest.
Like thousands?
No. I mean, it wasn't like a mega church, but I would have to say maybe like 500.
I mean, that's still a big church. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what was it like being a child?
I mean, growing up, I had a lot of fun because it was centered around, like children's church and stuff. It's like games and learning about Bible stories and coloring and, doing all that type of stuff. I would say as a child, I have good memories. It wasn't until I started to get older.
It's having to make choices, right?
Because little stuff, they make it fun.
Right.
So,
What about you?
I think I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Because I think when we were a kid, everything's fun.
Yeah.
We don't know a lot. So I used to go to the church every Sunday morning with my family. And then every Monday night, we have our family kind of meeting that we tell about our wiki or things that we need to fix in the family, stuff like that.
How big was your church?
Like 1,000.
1,000 people?
But they divide in different times.
Oh,
They
okay.
can.
Oh, yeah, everyone can.
So
the Lord is busy. I can't be with you. I mean, I know I am all, but not at 7 p.m., honey. I need you to come at 8:15.
So they have a lot of different times, so everybody can go to the church,
Okay.
Yeah, camping, especially in Carnival time, we always go away.
Go camping and stuff?
Yeah, stuff.
That's really cool. Okay, how big and deep is your family in the church of your youth days?
My family, they're really into and being in the church. We
Still?
are 4 generations. So
4 generations of Mormons? Damn. I mean, was that like the second generation of Mormons? Mormons aren't even that old. You know what I mean? Like, my gosh. They just went right to Brazil and y'all said, sign me up.
So I was literally born in the church.
Right. I mean, 3 generations. You know what I mean? It was hand me down the dowdy clothes. What about you, Cody?
Most of my, what was the question again?
Sorry, like, how big and deep is their family still big in the church?
Yeah, especially, both sides of my family, like mom and dad's side, are both pretty religious. Like my mom didn't grow up religious, but like later on, a lot of her family then became religious. And then my dad's side, like all my aunts and uncles, cousins, everyone that I know of is.
What do you think caused your family members that weren't religious to kind of become religious later? Is it just like something that happened, or?
For my dad, I'm not quite sure. Both of my parents became Christians, or they would say when they dedicated their life to Jesus when they were maybe in their late 20s, early 30s. My dad, I don't remember quite his story. Like he'd grown up in the church, and he would say he'd sowed his wild oats, and then eventually came to. My mom didn't grow up religious, and then she had lost her first husband to cancer, and then she just said she was like cleaning the house and had left. There's a channel called like TBN, and it's like a religious TV network, and she was just kind of at her rock bottom, and
Felt it.
she the lady led her to the Lord on the TV. Yeah.
She felt the Spirit.
Yeah.
What's a favorite memory you have from the experience at your church from your like upbringing? A favorite memory
From the church, I really like our activities that you should do on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Usually we should do with the families. They have like food,
You would what?
music.
They would go visit families, have
Yeah.
food and music.
They bring all the families to the church. Usually the church, the members are really big. They have a lot of space.
Okay.
So they should do like a lot music, food,
Okay.
games.
So all the things you like to do now.
Let's say that.
Kind of cool. Cody.
Probably a lot of stuff centered around music.
Okay.
Like I loved singing and like worship time. And then also in youth group, we did like fine arts festival competitions. And so we had like be in choir or like, pick whatever art form you want. And
Cody, you can't always be the soprano. You can't always be the lead, okay? You give Ashley the mic, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Right, give Ashley the mic. It is Alice in Wonderland.
yes, harmony. Yeah. Harmony's a little loud.
Right. Okay, what about a bad memory?
Oh, well.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure.
Which one?
Yeah, how was the okay? Not worse, because one of your worst memories, or experiences.
I mean, I've had a bunch, but I would just say in general, like the common thread among all of them would have been like manipulation, like spiritual manipulation, emotional manipulation.
Like basically when you
Trying to control you and putting, how would you say? It's like because who can argue with God
Right.
type of thing.
Right.
And so even though it felt like it was mostly from their perspective, the Lord told me to tell you.
And he's always busy. He's lying.
Yeah.
Like, how do I dial in if I don't have the number?
Yeah, but I would say the common threads would be like, coercion and manipulation through, because who can argue against God?
Right.
Yeah.
What they?
I think for me, once you don't do things that they want to, everything change. They start manipulate you. They start like pressure you to do things that you don't want to do, and they involve God in the middle. Like, oh, but God wants this for you and this and that. Or they say you're going to the hell, stuff like that.
So basically, like no wiggle room.
Yeah, it's kind of
the rules, right?
A little bit
Right.
more deeper because there they really like, okay, you're going to hell. So
I live in Brazil. Like, no, you're going to hell. Like, you know what I mean? Not America, hell. Okay, just sign up for it right now.
There's like it instills fear.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I don't want to burn in hell.
Right. I don't even have some bathing suit. Okay, so when did you first start to have issues with your church, or as in terms of your upbringing? Like, when did you start to like think different thoughts?
For me, was when I started make friends outside the church.
So when you started going outside of those Saturday gatherings, right? You started meeting other people.
Because there they really like you need to be friends with people from the church.
Right.
You cannot have friends from outside because they're not good people. They teach it that way. So when I started like hanging out with people that were not from the church, say, okay,
How did you start hanging out with them?
think school, university, stuff like that. I'm like, okay, they're not bad people. Why are they saying they are bad? Why can't I hang out with them? Why can't I do this with them? And then
How old were you?
I was like 18, 20.
Oh, so I mean, for a long period of time,
it was a long time, yeah.
up to adulthood,
That's why for me it was really hard because like I was raised with the whole truth
all the way through, dude. Yeah.
And like I was like questioning myself, and then when my parents saw me doing this, like, hey, what are you doing?
Were you good? Did you go to only like Mormon schools or whatever before?
Yeah, I did it.
So you didn't really have any interaction with people outside of the Mormon church up until 18?
No, I did, but my mom, she didn't allow me to
Connect.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Can you repeat the question one more time? I remember that.
So when did you start to have like your first start? We start to like have issues with the religion.
I mean, it first started as centering around my sexuality, because like I knew I was gay, and I went through an ex-gay ministry for 10 years to try to not be gay.
Okay.
And if I think I finally I was committed, like I was in it for 10 years and I was doing all the things, but I finally got to a point where I was like, I don't want to be single for the rest of my life. And you told me I'm made for marriage, but I can only marry a woman, but I'm not attracted to women. And even though I've gone through this program, I've done all these things, like I have zero inclination. And so for me, it was that. And then kind of my breaking point was around COVID. So once I saw on top of that where I was growing really frustrated with just wanting to accept that part of myself, and then I saw how other Christians were responding to COVID, Black Lives Matter, Trump, like everything happening in 2020, and that's where I was like,
Okay.
That was my
kind of like the last
point, where I was like, we are headed in two different directions. Yeah.
What was this for the 10 years that you were in this kind of like, I guess, whatever organization trying to get you out? What was that like?
Everyone like who has gone through a program like that.
Oh wow! Look at somebody not being able to turn the phone off. Told everyone else to turn their phones off, and I can't.
Right.
Oh my gosh, everybody! I am so sorry.
Everyone that's gone through a program like that has different experiences, and like no one organization is the same. So my experience might be, very different. But I would say for the most part, it sounds weird, but it was mostly positive, because it was focused on like kind of like a counseling side of things, and it was focusing on like healing childhood wounds and relational issues and stuff like that. Like the focus wasn't specifically just keep praying until you're not gay anymore.
Did they ever even get to that point?
The theory was like if you address the root issues, then this is a side effect. So if you address the root, so it sounds weird and like I very much disagree with the landing point, but I actually did like mature and grow a lot.
Because parts of it sounds like regular counseling.
It was.
But you're
It
also
was.
tapped on. I love
It
how
was.
you can't even address the situation in the damn organization that's supposed to help you fix the
Right,
situation.
right.
Like tap dancing
Yeah.
is not gonna fix it.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's actually, if anything, it's gonna make it worse.
There, that where I went, they would tell you the opposite of gay is not straight. The opposite of gay is holiness. So like you might never end up becoming attracted to the opposite sex, but the pursuit is to like heal yourself. So
my
that was
God.
because
Yeah.
the director was like a licensed counselor. So like he
Okay.
had that training.
So basically, a eunuch. You basically giving up. You know what I
Kinda,
mean?
yeah. I mean,
Okay. Okay. So I guess what finally broke the last straw, we kind of got that with you. You were saying that for you it was 2020 and kind of all the reactions.
yeah, like it had been building for a while of just seeing like hypocrisy within the church and seeing this disconnect of like, this is what I've been taught Jesus is, and this is what we're supposed to do. And then I'm seeing the church at large and the people like not, and like, you guys told me to like follow the teachings of Jesus, and I feel like I'm taking it seriously, and like this isn't lining up. And then I started to see like, I was always raised to think other religions were like cults, but mine wasn't. But then when I started to look at the patterns, and I'm like, well, if I don't disagree with you, I'm either like out or called sinful, and I'm like, this is still feels pretty cultish.
Right.
Yeah.
What they?
Okay. I think for me was when I came out gay. So, okay, I think I'm gay. So when I told my family, they were not really happy about it. So they don't talk to me for a year or more. And then when coming to the church, all the people that was like pressuring me, saying that, okay, but you can marry a girl and just pretend everything's fine.
Not them just telling your business. You know what I mean? Mom, I didn't tell you so you could bring it up on
Things like that.
Sunday dinner with no damn pastor.
It was really hard for me because I tried to kill myself twice.
Oh.
Because it was too much for me, like the whole pressure of being like, you need to be perfect, you need to be a good boy, you need to marry a girl, you need to stay in the church, this and that. But in my heart, I was like, that's not what I want. But at the same time, like everything around me, my family is 4 generations in the church. So for you to come out like that is a lot.
Yeah, and then to break away from that, what does that look like?
So then I try, okay, what you guys want? I do this, I do that. But then my last interview with my bishop, he was trying to have sex with me. And then when I say no, I was wrong. So then he put out because he's this, he's that, and he's out of the church. So
I mean, fuck him, but also bless him because he got you out the church. You know what I mean? He got you out of that area. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like, okay, I know.
Yeah.
What's happening.
He kind of gave you that closure that you might not have gotten on your own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And got you out of there and forced you to take a break. So like, fuck him, but you know what I mean? We can also take that as well. Thank you for sharing.
Catalyst.
Yeah. I think it's a really good note to take a break, guys. So we're going to be back to talk about growing up super religious and don't I feel holy. We'll right back. Hello, everyone. If you see the vape smoke, that's this one over here. You know what I mean? Just giving us leaving Las Vegas right before you start. I was like, girl, there's not a fan in the world who can rid of that smoke. All right, let's just start it. You know, give it ambiance. I'm Roman. We're back. Growing up religious. The Holy Vapors just came. I'm with Cody and with Hayes. And thank you for being here. Let's get started. So before we went to break, we were kind of talking about you guys' break. So now I want to talk about kind of what it was like with the church. So now I want to talk like what was it like after that? It's like when you broke up with the church, when you left the church, and when you had the the mental disconnect or whatever. What was it like for you? What was it like after the bishop excommunicated you or whatever he did?
Yeah, it was a lot of trauma.
A lot of trauma.
I think for me was really hard to fit in the society. Let's say that because I was raised in that way.
Were you still in Brazil? Or were you
I was in Brazil for like 6 months before I moved to here, and then when I moved here, everything to me was like, whoa.
I love how it only took 6 months. He's like, okay, girl, I need to be around more sinners. Let's go to America.
I think because like a lot of things that my whole life taught me that was wrong, and then when I was seeing people doing, I was judging too much. So like people drinking, people smoking, people doing drugs, everything for me was like.
So you needed like a new location
I need to like break everything that I had in my head since I was a kid and slowly building something different. Which with a lot of therapy, this is still going. I think I'm way better than I was like 5 years ago more. but like it was really hard because like
Yeah, I mean,
being a gay man and not being able to accept the community, just judging, it was really hard.
well, I mean, I don't know about Che. I don't know about what you were before, but you seem like one of the most unjudgmental people I know. You know what I
Now,
mean? So
honey,
you definitely changed. You know what I
thank you.
mean? Cody?
It was hard and traumatic for me as well. I think the first thing was like when I came out, I was still really trying to hold like being a devout Christian and being gay at the same time. And because I, had been told like if you do this, you're in sin and you're gonna go to hell. I mean, I remember for months after I would have night terrors of just like burning in hell, and it was just like panic attacks. And had to go through a lot of counseling and talk with some other people that I knew that had gone through a similar experience, and they reassured me like this too will pass. But it was hard too because like I had built my entire, similar to you, like I had built my entire community around other Christians, like my entire, almost all my friend groups, and really deep friendships, but they are like in direct opposition of me.
You kind of lost
Most of
it.
them of me coming out gay. So it was like, really paring down to like a handful of friends that were stood behind me and that, but it kind of worked out of like, I moved here anyway. So it was kind of like a clean break to get to start over. But yeah, it was really traumatizing between like the emotional, spiritual side of like I don't want to burn in hell. I tend to be like a safety driven person, and
You're like, no, I burn just
a
in the
risk
sun.
averse person,
Right.
and risk averse person, and then just like it was really sad to lose. As part of me like distanced myself on purpose because I knew like
It was going to happen.
like I still have a deep love for a lot of people, and I know I could call them and they'll want to talk, but I know because that was the sole basis of our relationship. I'm just talking with them. I know it's eventually going to get down to like, so how are you? Like
Right,
kind of
right.
like, I don't want to have this conversation.
Right, girl. Do you really want to know what happens in my bedroom? Because I don't want to know what happens in
Yeah,
yours.
like
You know?
that was the main thing centering. Like a lot of them I could still hang out with or talk to, but it's not the same.
Right, right. Because you should feel like you have to like. It's almost like you're code switching, or you might even just be finding yourself doing it when you really do. Should I be doing that right now?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I lost all the relationships. I don't have it. Like,
Okay. So next question. Any regrets do you have about leaving? Not about leaving, but is there anything there's something if you could redo you leaving, is there, something you would redo?
I wish I'd done it sooner.
Yes, bitch.
Especially coming out gay. I mean, it's a double-edged sword too, though, because it also is like because of my lack of like queer health, like it's probably for the best of the timing because I would have made a lot of choices and not had any queer health education.
Yeah, and any support. You know what I mean?
Right. I had zero knowledge about PrEP. I had zero knowledge about anything like that. So, and then I came out during the pandemic, and naturally, just because of the pandemic, I wasn't going out. So it was kind of like this like soft transition. So I would just say maybe sooner, but I don't really have any regrets with like making the choice. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Go ahead.
I think for me it was like I wish it was different the way it was. Like a guy trying to fuck me.
Right.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm bi.
Right.
But I'm happy. I think it was the best choice.
Okay. Next question. What would you say to other people out there in situations that are currently in the ones you were in before, questioning their faith for whatever reason, coming from a very strong background and now trying to find independence?
Oh, there's a lot of things. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is like, don't be afraid to think critically about things and to give pushback on things. Like I think in religious communities, it's pretty easy to be told what to do. And a lot of, especially like scripture, like there's a lot of interpretations, right? And so it's like, I was always raised with, well, we teach you the correct way to interpret, which there's so many other ways people interpret it. But it's like, don't be afraid to give pushback. And like a lot of times, like trust your gut. Like I was always taught, like, don't trust your feelings. It'll lead you to sin. And there's so many things now that I was like, instinctually I knew, but I was just always taught to mistrust myself. And I would just say, trust your gut more and give pushback.
Yeah, I think for me, like, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth. Like, it's not going to be easy. You're going to go through a lot of situations that you need to be stronger. And sometimes you're going to be by yourself because your family is not going to be there to support you. You're not going to have friends that support you. That's my own experience. But in the end, you know what is right for you. And once you find those things, you're gonna see a better. Like,
Yeah, girl. Now you got friends buying you diamond necklaces. I don't even want to talk about it, but
talk about it.
it's fine, honey, with a friendship. Yeah, right. Okay. Another question: do you want kids? And if so, would you raise them to be religious at all?
no kids for me.
No
Thank
kids.
you.
Same. I'm like, girl, no kids. I don't even want pets, girl. Like, I don't even want to be an auntie to a cat, girl. No.
I cannot.
Thank you.
I don't think I want kids. Like, maybe, you know, if I fell in love with the right guy, I would change my mind and we got married. Maybe that would, or if he already had kids, that would be a non-issue. But I've helped raise my niece since she was 2. I still live with her. She's now almost 8. And I would probably raise her similar to how my sister has, of like non-religious, but like we will teach her about things. But
Let her decide.
yeah, it's like I would want her to like that be her choice or my kid's choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about religion overall for anyone, like just in general?
For me, like if you trust that, if you believe that, I respect. No, I'm not gonna be the one who being like, okay, no, but no.
You're not judging
I'm
on the
not
other side.
gonna- yeah,
Like,
I'm not
oh,
gonna, man.
that type of Mormon. Well, with
I'm
my
not-
day,
like,
we were real.
I've been there
Mormons.
before. Like, you know,
Right.
I've been there before.
Right, Mormon light.
I totally respect people. Do I want to follow? No.
No,
No.
Okay.
Do I want you to come talk to me about this? No.
thank you. Right,
Wanna invite me to the church? No.
No. Right, miss me with that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I think there's a lot of really beautiful things that can come from religion, and like there's things from the church I miss. Like one thing the church community has is community. You know,
Yeah.
like that is something, you know, that I've found here in SF in the queer community, but it's still kind of like not fully the same, but like there's a lot of good things. You know, it's like I can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like it has different religions have helped people overcome personal struggles or
Yeah.
you know, different things. You know, it can, depending on the religion, like guide you to a better version of yourself. But
Or the people's interpretation of the religion around you.
Yeah.
yeah,
So-
I mean, yeah, I was to say when it, like I said, raise a kid to be religious per se, but I can see like in a lot of other religions, like there are still some positive,
Yeah.
you know, things. So.
All right, and this is our last question, and you guys have told me it's a doozy. If there was a God, if you believe in one still, and you got to ask for one wish, what would it be? And maybe not to make it a wish, maybe to make it like something that you would want him to like
A question.
focus on, or you know what I mean? Huh?
Like a question, a personal question.
No, like if you got to ask God for one thing, what would it be like?
Like a genie wish.
Yeah, or it could be a genie wish, or it could be like focus on this, or it could, you know what I mean? It could be something as broad as, you know what I mean? I want there to be world peace as a wish, or da da da.
Okay, I'm thinking. Go.
Yeah, it's a broad question. I'd say in terms of like even just where I believe of God, it's like I'm at the place where I'm like I would say maybe like spiritual. Like every once in a while I'll find myself praying, or it's like, you know, even it's like praying to Jesus. Even though I wouldn't call myself a Christian anymore, it's like I'm okay with like I have no problems with Jesus. My issues with the church at large and stuff. So like, you know, there's a spiritual side of me, but I would say like if I had to ask God for one thing, I mean, like broadly, like either world peace or like it's really, you know, that everyone's needs are met. It's really troubling to me to see the disparity in the world, and you know, ultra rich, ultra poor, the level of disease, lack of resources. I mean, my wish would be probably more broadly for
But people
like
in
a
general.
global people
Okay.
at large.
Yeah, I feel the same. Like more loving and kindness in people's hearts. Because those days it's kind of hard to see it, find it.
Yeah. Someone asked me that question once, and I think my answer was I wish that God had a meter where he could turn down the like the bombacity of people, like that he didn't want to be. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like where there was, I don't know, a joke about George W. Bush, and he was like, you know, someone did a joke where he's like, I'll come in, you know, in the name of Jesus, and Jesus was like, you don't come into my name.
Yeah.
And I feel like in my head, God would be like, look, we're gonna turn him a little down. Okay, he's a little bit loud. Well, that really is the end of our panel. I had a great time. Thank you, and I feel blessed for you guys for telling, and honored for you telling your stories. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Mateo.
Thank you.
This has been When in Rome. Growing up super religious. Obviously, you guys can tell I grew up as a heathen. Not these two though. Keep it sassy, fuck. Couldn't help me with that. All right, one more time. 1, 2. Keep it sassy, San Francisco. Ciao, ciao.